So, Bill, now we want to talk about your constituency, more specific. In Toronto, I believe the majority of, or a big number of Bangladeshi immigrants or Bangladeshi Canadians live in your constituency. Tell us a little about your relationship with them or your interactions with them.
The first community that came to support me was the Bangladeshi community here in Scarborough Southwest. It was remarkable, and it was very gratifying that so many people who I knew some, but I met so many new people, and they came out and they were tremendously helpful and supportive in helping me secure the nomination, and then throughout the entire campaign. It really was, for me, quite extraordinary to discover this very vibrant, engaged community right here in Scarborough Southwest. You know, when I grew up in this part of the city as a youngster, and I've seen such tremendous change. And it was really, for me, quite extraordinary to come back into this neighborhood, although I have always been a police officer in this neighborhood, but to come back now and to serve it in a different capacity. To find this extraordinary community, tens of thousands of Bangladeshi people, I think nearly 20,000, and it split. And we've always sort of perceived that it was primarily over on the west side of Victoria Park, in the Crescent Town area, and along the Danforth. But what I discovered is so much of that community is now migrating eastward across the city, and are a very, very important part of the Scarborough community now, and moving in there, and they are buying homes, they are establishing businesses, they're becoming a really important part of that community. And so getting to know them and building a relationship with them and friendships with them and getting their advice and their support was tremendously important to me. And it continues to be important to me. I want to stress that. Both myself and my colleague here in the Beaches East York riding, Nathan Erskine Smith, we understand how important the Bangladeshi community is to this community, to our country, and to the future of this area. And so, you know, we have both been very lucky, very fortunate to have excellent relationships with the people here, and we know we have an obligation and a debt of gratitude for the support that we have received. We're both very committed to working with this community, to continue to serve this community, to listen to them, and to ensure that their voices are heard in Ottawa, in Parliament, that there is a recognition in Parliament that this community is here, they are working hard, they are prospering, and they deserve and need our support.
I remember having a conversation with Nathaniel, who wasn't really happy knowing that he probably doesn't represent the largest Bangladeshi community anymore.
It was a bit of a competition. It was a bit of a competition between us because, you know, the Bangladeshi community was always well known as you know, being well established on the Beaches East York side of the boundary. But you know, I will tell you, and both Nathaniel and I understand this. The political boundary of Victoria Park is only a political construct. The community is vibrant and strong and straddles those lines. And so even though people may live on one side or the other, and that will sort of determine how they vote, the community itself is quite cohesive and strong. And you know, the business community, the cultural community, all of the various cultural organizations that support the community, they straddle that line very comfortably. And so Nathaniel and I just understand that we both have a job to do. We are partners in the service of this community, and the community supports us both.
It's nice that you mentioned partnering with Nathaniel and yourself, working as a team and working for the betterment of the community. What steps have been taken in recent times to champion the ideas or the contributions of this community, both at federal level or international?
Well, and I will credit my colleague and friend Nathaniel Erskine Smith for his initiative in this, but the establishment of, he's very active in the International Parliamentary Association, and it was through his initiative that we implemented and brought forward a Canadian Bangladeshi Parliamentary Friendship Association. And we both work very, very hard in community outreach, not only to the Bangladeshi community here in Canada, but also maintaining and building a strong relationship with the Bangladeshi, the country, with its citizens there. We recognize the importance to all the Bangladeshis here in Canada. They have a great sense of loyalty to their motherland, and so they're very interested and keen in anything that we can do together, in cooperation, in economic trade. There's nearly $2 billion in trade every year between Canada and Bangladesh. This is important to our citizens here and to their families back home.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that we work hard to promote that trade, to promote good relationships between the two countries, that we do everything possible to serve the interests of the
right.
people that we serve here.
Right. Now, coming to the trade aspect of the relationship, do you have plans to take any specific measures or any specific steps whereby the trade gets, or the business people in both countries get more opportunity to increase the trade?
Well, I know that our Prime Minister has had a number of conversations and with Bangladesh in order to promote trade. Trade is tremendously important to this country. The activity, the economic activity that takes place between ourselves. Canada is a country of natural resources and talented people. And so trade is essential to the success of our country. And we are looking beyond our normal trading partners. You know, there's an enormous amount of trading activity, for example, that takes place between Canada and the United States. But as I'm sure your viewers are aware, we've recently entered into an economic trade agreement with Europe. And we are looking at also expanding our trade connections with the countries of Asia, including Bangladesh, because it's so important. Certainly, there are certain aspects of Canadian trade where jobs and industry are already working very, very closely together in the garment industry and a number of others with Bangladesh. But we know that there are opportunities to continue to expand that. And our greatest asset in that expansion is the citizens that have come from abroad and come to this country and began making their great businesses and great opportunities and want to continue that trade with their home countries. That is one of our greatest assets. Our diversity, again, becomes our strength. Our diversity becomes our opportunity. And our country is committed to supporting those entrepreneurs who want to create more opportunity and jobs here in Canada through international trade, particularly with the countries from which they have come.
Right.
They know the culture. They know the business environment. They present tremendous opportunities to this country.
Right. Now, coming back to service from trade, your constituency office provides a lot of services to the constituents and to the community. But what services could the community look forward to when they go to your office?
Well, I'm grateful to have the opportunity to tell you. First of all, we're at 2263 Kingston Road. So our office is located in Scarborough, and it's on Kingston Road between Kennedy and Midland on the south side of the plaza. I have 3 excellent people working in my constituency office. And you know, one of the things I learned when I first came to Scarborough Southwest and was seeking the nomination, and then when I ran in this office, the importance of having people in that office who understand the language and the culture and the faith traditions of the Bangladeshi community. And I'm very proud to tell you 2 of the 3 people that I've hired to work in that office to serve my community are Bangladeshi people. They speak the languages. They know the faith traditions. They understand the culture, and they know and are trusted within the community. And I hired them, but first of all, because they're extraordinary, committed public servants themselves, but also because they gave us that connection to the community. I want all of the people of Scarborough Southwest, but I particularly want to ensure that the Bangladeshi community knows that they can come to my office and they can get any service on issues of immigration, on taxes, on pension. Frankly, if they have any problem that we can be of assistance to, I want them to feel comfortable to come to my constituency office. We are here to serve. And if we are not able to solve a person's problem, we will help them in every way we can to work towards a solution. Those relationships are very important. And I'm very proud of the people that work in my office. And because they do have that connection with the community, and they help me in this regard. One of the challenges of being a politician from Ottawa, or in Ottawa, is that we are required in Ottawa a great deal of the time. And I am very blessed because I have people in my constituency office who are part of the community. And they attend community events, they maintain those connections, and through them, I'm able to maintain the connections with my constituency, with my community. And
right.
It has become my community.
Right. I will definitely advise our viewers to reach out to your office or any of your staff members if they have any questions or any concerns about...
We are here to serve.
Right. Now, I know we have reached towards the end of our conversation, Bill, but before we end this conversation, I want to ask you about one specific issue which is very close to the hearts of Bangladeshi people living anywhere in the world. That is the International Mother Language Day.
Yes.
The province of Ontario has recognized this as the International Mother Language Day. And, within the community, people always celebrate. There are processions and all kinds of rituals to celebrate this. Do you plan to take any steps in federal level to recognize this day or?
Well, first of all, I know that there is some discussion about establishing a memorial here in this part of the city, but as well, I'd be more than pleased to work with my colleagues, Nathaniel Erskine-Smith, and with this community to bring the issue forward in Parliament. There needs to be a recognition of the importance of these days of celebration, and I know, of course, how important this day is to the community, and I would be very pleased to have the opportunity to work with the community in bringing the issue forward for broader recognition.
Right, and your office has taken some initiatives to, focusing on the holidays coming up.
Yes.
Would you like to talk?
Yes.
About
Well, one of the days coming, and we have a day of remembrance on November 11th, and so there will be a memorial service on the 11th, and we memorialize on the 11th all of the people who have given their lives in the service of their country in the military. And it's an important day. And our remembrance services in Scarborough Southwest will take place at the Cenotaph, which is located on Kingston Road, just to the east of Birchmount Road. As you come up the hill, there's a cenotaph there, and we'll be gathering there at 10:30 on Friday, November the 11th, for a service that takes place at 11 o'clock. And it is a service where we remember those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the service of their country.
Right. Amazing. It was an amazing experience talking to you, Bill. I wish you all the best, and I hope that our community can receive all the services that you have been providing for decades, almost 40 years or more than that. We can keep on receiving those services, and we can have you as our friend.
I'd just like to thank Deshe Bideshe TV for giving me the opportunity to speak to the community. Dhanyabad.
সুধীবৃন্দ, এতক্ষণ কথা বলছিলাম স্কারবোরো সাউথ ওয়েস্ট থেকে নির্বাচিত ফেডারেল এমপি বিল ব্লেয়ারের সাথে। পয়েন্ট অফ অর্ডার অনুষ্ঠানে এভাবে আমরা আপনাদের সামনে উপস্থিত হব আপনাদের নির্বাচিত জনপ্রতিনিধিদেরকে নিয়ে। আমাদের সাথেই থাকবেন। আপনাদের যে কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকলে আমাদেরকে ইমেল করবেন, সেই প্রশ্নগুলো আমরা আপনাদেরই জনপ্রতিনিধিদের সামনে উপস্থাপন করব। আমাদের ইমেল অ্যাড্রেস pointoforder@deshebideshe.tv। আপনারা আমাদেরকে ইমেল করবেন। আর আগামীবার দেখা হওয়ার আগ পর্যন্ত ভালো থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন। দেখা হবে শিগগিরই। ধন্যবাদ।